For any young cyclist dreaming of one day turning professional, competing in the Junior National Series is the starting line on their journey to success. And as they aim to follow in the tyre tracks of their cycling heroes, they must face gruelling courses, extreme physical and mental demands, and the danger of racing on open roads. But for many young cyclists, the biggest challenge isn't on the roads. It is the financial barriers of taking part at all. The cost of bikes, equipment, coaching, travel and fees to join a team run into thousands of pounds a year. This prices many young riders out of the sport they love and widens the gap between those who can afford to compete and those who cannot. One team is aiming to close this gap by providing free equipment, coaching and financial support to their riders. Team PAU is giving opportunities to young cyclists with the raw talent, potential and drive to reach the top and breaking down the financial barriers they could otherwise face. But this approach is not without its challenges. After a promising debut season, can Team PAU compete against the biggest and strongest teams in junior racing? Can they survive the brutal demands of the National Series? And can they unearth the next hidden gem of cycling? Find out in Closing the Gap. Coming from youth cycling into junior cycling is a huge step up for a lot of riders. Just finishing a junior national race can be a huge challenge. So at Team PAU, when we're selecting riders who have the potential but not the means or opportunities to gain experience, we're not looking at results for our first year cyclists. We're looking for development, improvement, and most of all, character and commitment. And no one sums that up better than Owen. Episode 5, Hanging In.
My name is Owen Team. I'm 17 years old and I ride for Team PAU. I'm from Doncaster. I've been riding a bike for nearly 2 years now. I have a twin brother called Finn, but I'm obviously the more handsome one.
I remember as a kid, me and Owen used to race down Canal on like these little bikes. There was like all Team Sky bikes. We always used to race down there so you could win. And it always used to be like 50-50, but then there was one time it was just constantly Owen. Then I thought, what am I doing wrong?
Show that picture. Look at that one.
Oh, that's the one I was supposed to show.
This is the canal at Kirk Bramouth. This is where I grew up. My old house is just over there and I used to come here when I was little just to ride my bike. The early memories here would be just like riding down here with my grandma. I used to love it every time. I used to always try race my brother to the next bridge and I always used to win, obviously. This is all my stuff from my cycling career. This is definitely a big one for me. This is Isle of Man number from my youth career. But the first stage wasn't so memorable. The second stage was the first ever race I stayed with the main group. And that gave me motivation massively for the rest of the season and to keep going. Each race is very meaningful and I'll hope to look back in the future if I make it pro and think, wow, I've come a long way to say I started at 15.
Owen as a bike rider is relatively new to the sport. Some of the riders that we've got in the squad have been riding since they were able to walk, and cycling's in the blood and in their genetics and in their families. Owen doesn't have that kind of background in the sport, so he's come to it relatively late. He doesn't have those 10,000 hours of cycling in his legs, so physiologically there's improvement to be had there. But the good thing about that is the graph should be going like that pretty fast for him, and we've seen that kind of development and evolution in him this year. But then there's all the other side of cycling for him to get his head around. First time out with us, he was dropped in the early laps, and it's gradually got sort of further and further into the bike race, and I think it was only a couple of laps to go at Cadence that he got dropped from the group. And sooner or later he's going to get to the end, and the thing for Owen as a bike rider is he's got a great sprint on him, he's got a really good kick on him, and the point where we get him to the finish, that's when the stuff gets interesting. He is a very gritty rider that will apply himself until someone tells him to stop. That stubbornness is going to continue, but it's going to be a useful trait when he's at the other end of the bike race.
I think I've got a lot of grit and determination.
You've got to keep your head up, you've got to keep going and keep fighting, push beyond your limit. You just have to have the determination to keep pushing.
This weekend is the CAMS Yorkshire Classic, definitely one of the hardest races in the series. It's not one where there's a single standout hill. This one is all up and down. There are a couple of bigger climbs on the loop, but it's one of those where the importance of being well positioned in the bunch is probably more important than any other bike race. While it's not a race that's got a big mountain in it, it will suit the lighter riders, the climbers, as long as they can position themselves well.
Yeah, 7 laps. The open race will be 7 laps, 121 kilometres, 1,960 metres of climbing. Jesus Christ.
I'd say that this weekend's definitely going to be one of the hardest weekends. An 18% climb. It's definitely not ideal.
Alright.
What's he doing?
For Owen, it's really about going as deep into the bike race as he can. This course doesn't suit his riding style, so for him it's about how can you practice conserving energy in such a way that you go further into the bike race than you expected to, but that's really what we'll be asking him to do today. So race head's on now, get yourselves organised, get all your shit together and stowed away after this. Owen, your game today is to see how little energy you can expend for as long as possible, yeah? Because it's a long way to go. I'm going to have to suffer for 70 miles. I'm going to have to suffer for 69 miles, 68, that's going to be a tough day. If you can give yourself lots of little objectives, what can I do next to not waste energy? Can I move up on a wheel? Can I find a bit of shelter? Yeah, any of that stuff. That's your game. Just keep asking yourself, what can I do, what can I do? And before you know it, the finish will be around the corner.
Okay, then, here we go.
It's coming through now, apparently. 2 from 1, are we good to go?
All the teams knew today was going to be challenging, but it was turning out to be even tougher than expected. The multiple climbs, heat and crosswinds all combining to make the race one of the most gruelling of the season. And it was not long until riders from all teams were dropping like flies. But Owen was not going to give up easily. His courage and never say die attitude keeping him in the mix beyond expectations.
That looks like 62 drop now.
I don't know where Hugh is, but he's behind me.
Despite staying in longer than some of the top riders in the peloton, unfortunately, Owen was eventually pulled as well.
Yeah, it was very brutal today. Just having multiple climbs, it's just not my cup of tea. A lot of riders pulled out before me, so I just got to take the positives from the weekend and move on to Bath, and we go again next week.
Just over 20 miles in, we got one rider still in the race. Harrison.
From 1, let me know when you've made the left turn at the road.
One of our riders, Harrison, right to the sharp end. Come on,
Harrison! Come on, Harrison! One lap! One lap!
was just Harrison really that managed to hang on beyond that initial very frenetic first third of the race.
What happened?
It was just a crosswind and I was like, Helen was just like...
Down there?
Yeah. I was just like, I can't do it anymore.
It's been a rough race.
Yeah, tough.
Like, I think that one's harder than Sickle.
And the winner of the 2025 CAMS Yorkshire Classic with a fantastic last lap, Harry Hudson.
The race went off quickly and they rode super hard those first 2 laps. I mean, you could see it both in the speed that they came past us at the start finish there in the feed zone, but also in the faces of the riders. You could see that everybody was full gas. There were some very good bike riders climbed off before our bike riders in the race, and it is one of those where if the course did not suit you and if you were not in the best of form, it was unlikely that you were going to get a result today. If we come back here with Owen in the squad in 12 months' time, I still don't think this is a course that suits him. So where he is in his development, it was always going to be a big ask for him today. He gave it his best. When he got gapped, he got settled into it was a big group of riders he got dropped with. It wasn't like he was out the back of the bike race on his own. He was in good company and he got stuck in and they worked hard until the organiser pulled them from the race when they'd fallen more than 10 minutes behind. So again, can't fault Owen, 100% effort as always, and this is all going to stand him in good stead and contribute to him getting to become the bike rider that we know he can be.
Yeah, I definitely think this national is definitely a big step up to closing the gap. I think every weekend we're definitely progressing as a team as a whole. We're definitely getting somewhere, but we just got to keep on pushing and pushing, and hopefully the results will come in soon.
Taking part in the national series, I say to Bjarne, it's such a privilege. Just seeing him lining up with the greats, his cousins, looking at him, everyone's in complete awe of him, that he's managed to really break those barriers. And you know, I am trying to break into something that I can't see anybody like me doing. But this is what this young South Asian boy from Scotland is doing, is achieving. I think that would then make people realise that, oh wow, he can do it, I can do it too.